The WNBA officially entered a dark, new era on opening night, and the cameras caught every single second of the betrayal that went down in Indiana. What was supposed to be a celebration of women's basketball turned into a public execution of a superstar's dignity in front of 17,000 people. On Saturday, May 9, 2026, the Indiana Fever walked into a sold-out Gainbridge Fieldhouse expecting a fair fight, but they walked into a trap set by the most cold-blooded player in the game today. Paige Bueckers did not just come to win a basketball game, and she made that clear when she decided to destroy the reputation of Caitlin Clark while the world was watching. The final score showed 107-104 in favor of the Dallas Wings, though the scoreboard did not even begin to reflect the real damage that was done to the integrity of the sport. This damage happened in the shadows and on the sidelines, where the respect for the game officially died during a coordinated effort to bully the person who put this league on the map. The footage that surfaced 2 days later sent shockwaves through the sports world because there is no coming back from a personal attack like this.
Yo, if you love real basketball stories, deep dives, and the drama behind the game, you're in the right place. But if you want to take it to the next level, hit that join button. Members get exclusive content, early access, and behind-the-scenes drops you won't see anywhere else. Plus, you're directly supporting the channel and helping us bring you even better content. So if you rock with Basketball Spilled, become a member today. Let's keep the game alive.
The atmosphere in Indianapolis felt electric until the moment the mocking began, and the most anticipated season opener in history turned into a nightmare. You had 4 number 1 overall picks on the same floor for the first time ever, which should have been a dream matchup for the 17,000 fans in attendance. Paige Bueckers and Azzi Fudd represented the new power in Dallas, while Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston tried to defend their home court in Indiana. But the dream died when the Dallas Wings decided that winning the game was not enough, and Paige Bueckers led a charge of disrespect that we have never seen at this level. While the fans were cheering for the future of the game, Paige was busy plotting a way to humiliate her rival during the most important broadcast of the year. The cameras in the stands caught exactly what the national broadcast tried to hide from the public, and the result was a viral disaster for the league. On May 11th, the truth finally leaked out, and the internet is absolutely losing its mind over the disrespect shown by the Dallas Star. A fan sitting near the court captured clear video of Paige Bueckers visibly mocking Caitlin Clark's signature head bob motion that she uses to draw contact on her drives. This is the move Clark uses to sell foul calls, and it is a fundamental part of her game that has earned her thousands of career points. But to Paige Bueckers, that move was nothing more than a joke, and she decided to perform a parody of it while the game was still being decided. The footage shows Bueckers standing on the court with an exaggerated smirk on her face as she bobs her head forward in a jerky motion to ridicule Clark's physical style. She did this while 17,274 fans were screaming, and while Clark was struggling to keep her team from falling apart in the fourth quarter. This was not a heat-of-the-moment reaction, and instead it was a calculated attempt to frame the face of the league as a fraud. The level of toxicity required to mock a peer in their own building during a season opener is off the charts, even for a player as competitive as Paige. She was already shooting the lights out of the building and finished the night going 8 for 10 for 20 total points. She was winning the game, and she was winning the statistical battle, but she still felt the need to kick Clark while she was down. Clark was struggling with her shot all night, going 7 for 18, and she was dealing with massive pressure from a physical Dallas defense. She even had to leave the bench twice for treatment on a nagging back issue that clearly affected her movement on the floor. She was playing through physical pain to give the fans what they paid for, and her opponent responded by laughing at her like a middle school bully. This is the kind of toxic energy that coaches warn players about, because it proves that the Dallas locker room is focused on mental warfare. The mockery did not even stop when the final buzzer sounded and the Wings secured their 3-point victory over the Fever. Paige Bueckers went to the post-game podium and delivered a line that was a direct shot at the legacy Clark is trying to build in Indiana. She told reporters that she is not one to live in the past, but she could not remember how long it took them to get their first win last season. This was a deliberate attempt to remind the media that Clark's rookie season started with a long losing streak, while Dallas was already winning. It was a reminder that while Clark has the fame, Paige believes she has the real talent and the real wins. The arrogance of the statement showed a complete lack of professional class that has become the trademark of the Dallas core players. They are not content with being good, and they want to make sure everyone else feels small by comparison. The mainstream media tried to frame this as healthy competitive trash talk, but the fans know the difference between competition and a locker room cancer. There is a line between being a competitor and being a person who spreads hate and disrespect throughout the professional ranks. When you mock a player's physical mechanics, you're attacking their professional identity and trying to devalue their work. Caitlin Clark admitted after the game that she felt the anxiety of the first game, and she was honest about her struggles. She acted like a professional even in a heartbreaking loss on her home floor, while her opponent was busy acting like a villain. The contrast between these two players could not be more obvious to anyone who actually understands the culture of the sport. One is a professional trying to build a league, and the other is a manipulative player trying to tear people down for her own ego. The stats tell a story of a player who was more focused on being efficient than being a person of high character on the court. Paige Bueckers had 20 points on only 10 shots, which is an incredible performance on paper for any second-year guard. But that performance is now stained by the video evidence of her behavior toward a peer who was clearly hurting. No one cares about your shooting percentage when you are caught acting like a clown on the sidelines of the biggest game of the year. Clark finished with 20 points as well, but she had to work 3 times as hard for every single bucket she earned. She missed a tying logo 3 with only 4.5 seconds left on the clock, and that shot could have changed the entire narrative of the night. When that ball hit the rim, the Dallas bench erupted in a way that felt like a personal celebration of Clark's failure. The evidence of this league-wide war is mounting every single day, and the veterans have been quiet about the bullying for too long. They are letting Paige Bueckers become the face of the anti-Clark movement because they are jealous of the attention the Fever star receives. This mockery was not just about one game in Indianapolis, and instead it was a signal to every other team that the face of the league is fair game. It tells the referees that they should not blow the whistle when Clark drives because her own peers think she is just acting for the cameras. This video is going to change how the game is officiated for the rest of the year, and that is a major problem for the sport. If the referees think a player is mocking the contact, then they will stop calling the fouls that protect the players from injury. Paige Bueckers effectively stripped Caitlin Clark of her most dangerous weapon by using a 5-second mocking gesture that went viral. The fallout from this is going to be massive for the Dallas Wings brand, even if they think they are winning right now. They might have won the game, but they lost the respect of the true fans who want to see sportsmanship in the WNBA. You cannot build a winning culture on the foundation of disrespect and bullying, no matter how many games you win in May. While Paige and Eriko Gunbowl celebrate their victory, the rest of the world is seeing them for who they really are in the dark. They are the villains of a story, and they are leaning into that role with everything they have in their locker room. They want the drama, and they want the smoke, but they are not ready for the backlash that is coming from the fans. The Indiana Fever fans are already circling the calendar for the rematch, and they are demanding that Clark finally sends a message back. What makes this even worse is that Paige Bueckers knows exactly what she is doing when she steps in front of a camera. She is a second-year guard who won Rookie of the Year in 2025, and she knows the power of her social media platform. She knows that every move she makes will be analyzed by millions of people across multiple countries. She chose to mock Clark because she wanted to start a war and prove that she is the real #1 pick. This is the kind of ego that destroys leagues and ruins the locker room chemistry of a national team. Instead of uplifting her peer, she chose to use her talent as a weapon for public humiliation. The fact that she did it in front of a record-breaking crowd shows that she has no respect for the fans who pay to see a game. The league office needs to step in before the situation gets out of control and someone gets seriously injured on the floor. We have already seen players get physically aggressive with Clark in the past, but this mental bullying is even more dangerous for the league. It creates a culture where it is okay to target one specific individual just because they are successful and popular. Paige Bueckers is acting like a manipulative leader of a clique, and the rest of the Dallas Wings are following her lead. They are creating a mean girls atmosphere that has no place in a professional sports league in the year 2026. If this happened in any other workplace, there would be an investigation into harassment and a hostile work environment. But because it is the WNBA, people are calling it competitiveness to protect the players involved. The visual contrast of the post-game photos tells the whole story of what happened at Gainbridge Fieldhouse that night. You can see Paige Bueckers smiling and laughing in the win celebration photo like she just pulled off a giant prank on the world. Then you see the photo of Caitlin Clark walking off the floor looking exhausted and hurt after a long night of physical play. She was dealing with a back issue and the weight of an entire city's expectations on her shoulders. She deserved a competitive game between professionals and not a mockery of her existence by someone she thought was a friend. The fact that the Dallas Wings felt the need to rub it in proves that they are deeply insecure about their own place in the sport. They know that even when Clark loses, she is still the most important person in the room, and they hate her for it. We are now on a countdown to August 14th, 2026, which is the date of the rematch in Indianapolis, and the stakes are massive. The world will be watching to see if Paige Bueckers has the courage to address the mockery, or she will hide behind her coach. Will she walk the mockery back, or will she double down on the disrespect when she sees the fever again? The fans are already choosing sides, and the lines are drawn deep in the sand between the two fan bases. This is not just about basketball anymore, and instead it is about whether or not the league will allow its star to be bullied. The drama is real, and the evidence is undeniable for anyone who has seen the fan footage from the stands. Paige Bueckers has shown the world her true colors, and those colors are not something the league should be proud of. She is the architect of her own downfall in the court of public opinion, and she will have to live with that. You can shoot 80% from the field and still be a loser if you do not have the character to respect your opponents on the court. The Dallas Wings might think they are sitting on top of the world right now, but the fall is going to be long. They have turned themselves into the most hated team in the league, and they have no one to blame but their own leadership. The mockery caught on camera is a permanent stain on Paige's career that no amount of championships will ever wash away. The internet is losing its mind because we finally see the truth behind the smiles and the marketing campaigns of the Dallas Stars. We see the resentment and the toxicity that has been bubbling under the surface for years in this league. Paige Bueckers just did the one thing you never do to a rival, and now she has to live with the consequences of that choice. The "I am not one to live in the past" quote was the final nail in the coffin of her public reputation. She wanted to be the hero of the story, but she ended up being the villain that the league desperately needs to fix. Caitlin Clark will continue to work hard, and she will continue to be a professional while her enemies continue to play games. The battle for the soul of the WNBA is officially on, and the first shot was a low blow that everyone saw. As the season progresses, we will see if the referees buy into the mockery or if they protect the players from this kind of psychological warfare. The Fever roster is revamped, and they are looking for revenge against the team that tried to humiliate their leader. They saw the video and they heard the quotes, and they are ready to defend their home court in the rematch. This opener was not the end of a story, and instead it was just the beginning of a massive league war. Paige Bueckers thinks she won today, but she actually just started a fire that is going to consume her entire career. She is the one who made it personal, and she is the one who will have to pay the price in August. The final buzzer has sounded on Paige Bueckers' reputation as a clean player and a leader in this league. She is now the villain of the WNBA, and the world has the receipts to prove exactly what she did in Indiana. She mocked the face of the league, and she laughed in the face of the fans who keep the sport alive. The investigation into this locker room cancer is just beginning, and we will be here to report every single detail as it happens. Stay tuned to the Inner Circle, because the truth is finally coming out, and it is uglier than anyone could have ever imagined. The game of basketball deserves better than the behavior we saw on opening night from the Dallas Stars. Paige Bueckers might have the win on the scoreboard, but she lost the respect of every true fan in the world today. Respect is the only thing that actually lasts in this sport, and she just threw hers away for a 5-second joke. The countdown to August 14th starts right now, and the world is waiting for justice to be served on the hardwood of the WNBA. There is no escaping the camera, and there is no escaping the truth of what Paige Bueckers really is when the lights are at their brightest. She is the villain she always wanted to be, and now she has to live with the consequences of her own actions. The era of the mean girls in the WNBA is officially under fire, and we are the ones holding the flame.